There are a lot of mobs in Minecraft, and yet some seem to get crowded into a cube in their biome instead of having their own space. So I'm going to make sure that those mobs have a home by building a... Now, I'm going to start with the Minecraft mob that you see first. Nope, not that. Or that. Or that. In fact, it wasn't even the sheep you hid in every one of those shots, and yet it was still in them. Yes, there you go. You got it. The player is what we are going to be doing today. To start building this biome, I first thought it should be a flat area with bright green grass. A builder's dream. But just having that in a house would be, quite frankly, boring. So I thought about every server I ever been to or watched. And I found one thing in common. Paths. These marvelous forms of telling you where to go are found in a lot of spawns and shopping areas and are just the keystone of civilization on any server. It also acts as a double-edged sword because every player is different, which means that when you guys eventually get this map, you can build your own little builds in each location. Of course, I decided to add that. And when it was all done, it's time to move on to the main attraction. This biome is the perfect place to spawn into the world and just start adventuring. And yet, we have no place to spawn but a big plain of grass. So now, we just build a starter house. I start by laying a raised platform so that this build could be put in any biome. I set an outline of basic walls, and I realized there would be no room for storage. So I threw out the idea of being able to put it in any biome and built a basement, which I feel turned out to be one of the best parts of the build. After that was done, I went back upstairs and started thinking about the walls. I wanted a nice tileable pattern, and I think I made it work with a nice accent color, and it lets a lot of light in, so I copied it around the build. Next thing I did was start working on the interior by building a small bedroom and adding a staircase down to the basement below. After that, I went back upstairs to finish a nice enchanting room and an armory room. Then, I started on the roof. Now I'm going to give you guys a quick walkthrough of the build from a hands-on perspective. Now, of course, starting off, we have the nice entrance with, like I said, the nice tileable pattern and the copper roof, which I changed because the original roof looked very weird, which you probably saw in the time-lapse. So now it looks a lot better, more pagoda-like. And you can see a little sneak peek of the basement down below. But right now, I'm just giving you a quick walk around of the build. And, of course, it has the nice patio. It wraps all the way around. I think there's a spot in the back. Yep, that allows you to not go all the way around with a complete loop, but you can walk all the way around if you trace your steps back. Now coming right in, down below, you see the map room / storage room through the glass panels on the floor, which is very nice. Unfortunately, it's not lit very well. Probably change that in a few seconds. Over to your right, you can find the armory. So, of course, we have the orange and diamond armor, so some resin, which is probably one of the most difficult ones you can grab, but it also looks kind of cool. We have your standard use set. That should be gold pants. I don't know why it's changed. Well, doesn't matter. Over here we have your nice netherite set, and of course the dragon egg. And as you can see, each one of these barrels is filled with stuff. And then over here we have the enchanting room. It also has a quick brewing stand because it helps with the vibe of the place. The floors are actually bookshelves, which also helps with the enchanting table. And then of course we have the bedroom. There is nothing in that chest. This is a bookshelf that you can take books out of. Lantern, nice red bed, all nice and easy. Now let's go down. So downstairs, you saw this in the time lapse before. Yeah, let's do some quick torches. You saw this in the time lapse, but of course this is our storage room. It has a nice walkway around the side, and you can get down below by this ladder over in the corner. Down here we have, of course, more storage, but also utilities like these guys. And a map, which is not completely filled out, but as the series continues, I will progress with filling out. Look, it's a little mini us. Transitioning back upstairs, there's only one way to go, and that's even further up. Up here, of course, we have one of the most iconic things in any player base that you can always find, but is never really shown much. Yeah, it looks like it's kind of organized storage down below, but nah, even we got a chest monster up here. So that was the base build, and now, because this was kind of a short episode, and I cheated you with not doing an actual mob, I'm going to show you a few mobs that don't actually need their own biome, and kind of slot into their own respective biomes without any additional building. One of the first ones I thought of was the bat, fitting the role of the basic cave mob. Then I thought back to the passive mobs from the beginning and thought the chicken could also just fit basically in the plains. The river biome is now home to both salmon and cod, who would have a difficult time getting their own biome. The boss mobs, like the warden, already have their own biome, with the warden having the skulk. And the creaking also has their own biome with the pale forest. Another one that I thought of was the frogs being in the mangrove swamp, as they are kind of the only mob in the mangrove swamp. And lastly, again, the only mob in their respective biome would be the mushrooms on the Mushroom Island.